What's your excuse? How you doing, YouTube? It's Will from Will Development, and this is my 111th weekly update. Now, I mentioned last week, at least I believe I mentioned last week, that I have been scheduled to have surgery on my heart, which I kind of always knew might be a thing. I just sort of thought it might be a few more years down the line. And I also alluded to the fact that I have been feeling not necessarily lethargic, but it seems that I was having trouble kind of getting energy levels up to, a certain standard that I'd become accustomed to not so many years ago in the past few months. And the fact that the valve in my heart that keeps the damn thing open is basically starting to wear out and just no longer do what it's supposed to do, which is keep the damn thing pumping. It has quite a bit to do with it, probably, and that's most likely what's causing me to not be able to get my energy levels where I want them to be, so to speak. I'm going to do some more videos talking about my heart, I promise. It occurred to me that a lot of people actually are pretty interested in it, and I had done a video I can actually say years ago now, where I spoke about training. I called it working out back when I called training working out. But I had spoken about training with heart problems and some of the things that I've had to overcome, and I feel like I probably do one of those every year since my body, it changes every year, and especially with this last year where I haven't necessarily felt something in my heart. It's not really one of those things you feel, but I have felt less energy, and honestly the fact that I've kind of cut back on training, especially with the heavier training in strongman and things like that, and I found myself not necessarily not getting the kind of results that I should be getting on X, Y, or Z programming, it just wasn't happening, and I feel that it may have had something to do with it. I started getting this thing where my feet were cold all the time, like they had bad circulation. Never had that in my life. Might have something to do with the heart, I intend to talk to my doctor about it. I'm going to talk to my doctor. I haven't known him that long, so I'm not scared to ask him or anything like that, but my old cardiologist, I'd known that man since birth. Like, he was the third person in the world to ever hold me, so I would have asked him, can I film you? And I'm sure he probably would have been cool with it because we've known each other for so long. But regardless, I'm going to ask this doctor if I can film him, and he can kind of fill everybody in on some of the information that I've tried to share, because he's a professional at this. He's one of the best in the country at this. Whereas me, I'm just some punk-ass 20-something-year-old who just so happens to have survived a surgery. You know what I mean? So he's much more knowledgeable on it, so I'm going to try to see if he'd be willing to, go on camera, even for 10, 15, 20 minutes, something along those lines. Just to help give everybody an idea of what my exact heart conditions are or were, and the kind of challenges that people that are born like me are faced with, because I'm not the only one in the world at all. There's, it's pretty rare, but there are still quite a few people all over the world that are born with these similar heart conditions, and some didn't survive, to say the least. And the ones that are surviving, not to sound cocky, but they're not thriving or chasing as much as I am. And I mean, trust me, there's plenty of people out there who pouring way worse off than I was in terms of their bodies, and they seem to be doing a lot better than even I am. So, it's one of those things. You got to kind of understand who you are, and what you're capable of, and just try to do a little bit more, every day. And the days turn into years, just like that. And so that's what I'm trying to accomplish with this. Other than that, all I've been doing is basically calisthenics, just indoor workouts, training sessions, and some stretching and yoga, trying to get my posture a little better, trying to get some of the muscular imbalances worked out a little bit. And I'm pretty excited because the Swoley Bible came in this week, and so I'm going to read that. I'm going to do a review on that for you guys as well. But I will have a review video coming out next week on a movie that I had really no intention of watching, but it just popped up on Netflix, and I said, what the hell, why not? So look forward to that next Wednesday. You're going to have to subscribe if you want to catch that, which will be releasing next Wednesday. And, if you guys like it, maybe I'll do an even more in-depth review of it, just like I did with the King review, which was, as far as I can tell, the numbers say it was a success, so we'll see where that goes. So, just be sure to subscribe so you can stick around, and I will continue doing what I do. Right now, I'm just kind of existing, not striving for anything right now. I don't want to get into a routine and then have to break it because of this surgery, or, worst case, this one doesn't work out and I have to do the open heart thing. I'll keep everybody updated every week like I always do. I appreciate everybody's support. And if you have any questions, just leave it down in the comments below, and I'll get to it as quickly as I can. You see, I always respond to my comments. If you have a question but you don't leave a comment, then what's your excuse?